No, we're good. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to Tier 3 of the BRL Breakout Racing League. First races of Equal Tier tonight. We have 4 Equal Tiers, starting with this one, Tier 3. We're here at the Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix. If you saw on Wednesday, we had F2. Thursday, we had Realistic. But Friday, like I said already, we'll set off the Equal Tier Racing as we have an 18 driver grid, soon to be 19 with Dixie Ishigo in the Alfa Romeo joining late. But nonetheless, my ex-co-com Quick Tongue, he's back and now in the Mercedes once again. I am your main commentator, ZB42, and joined alongside of me, Moo Moo. Moo Moo, what are you expecting for tonight's Tier 3, especially with a full grid as well? Yes, it will. Something to talk about, though, is the Alfa Romeo driver. If you see in P18, he's actually doing his debut race tonight, replacing Haycatcher. SRT Silencer 135 will be making his debut race. I'm excited to see what he can do for Tier 3. But waiting on the weather report, but with everyone out on the mediums, it's sort of giving me a hint on what the weather could be. Alright, moving. That's where. But anyway, just give us a short rundown of what you said, bro. Can't be bothered to ask how that again.
This race will most likely be decided on who keeps on the track and gets no penalties, and you can overtake around here because Tier 3's I think is a little bit spread out, so it's not always gonna be a full 18-car DRS train all the time. But there will be our normal at the top like Gary, Skeppy, Ardell, Ron. Yeah, mostly those. They'll be towards the front, battling for the win.
Yeah, first person to start their lap, actually, I believe, is the Red Bull of Ardell. Maybe Potato. Actually, yes, it is Potato in the Williams. He's on the mediums. He sets the purple sector 1 with a 28.6. But that is to be expected due to him being the first driver out on track. We're going to have to wait and see what everyone else does. But considering that we're already almost 3 minutes in the qualifying, it's gonna be, oh lord, I just had a stroke there, but nonetheless, it's gonna be a very intense qualifying, considering that this is a very packed Tier 3 race, and we haven't had this packed of a grid in a while, which is really good to see. But waiting on the wheels, Potato going through Sector 3 now. I wasn't able to get a Sector 2 time, but coming across the line now, he sets a
17-0.
17-0, which will be the time for everyone to beat. Hero Ardell and the Red Bull actually invalidated his lap time, and it looks like, at least according to his battery, he's going to go for a second push run. Next driver across the line will be Silencer for 17.6. And next driver actually to set a lap time in, I believe that is Ron. Yes, it is. He's invalidated. So it will be Gary. He also invalidated.
Yeah. Looks like he might go for another lap because you can do that at this track. It's short enough where you can go for 2 laps on your tires, not right in a row pushing, but you can definitely do 2 runs on your tires.
Yes, and actually, next driver across the line to set a lap time will be Quick Tongue. He sets a 16.4, which will be provisional pole, at least for now. But Barrow skipping that's Martin, which, by the way, will be here once he comes into pit lane for tonight. He sets a 16.6 on the mediums.
It's a good time.
A very competitive lap time, especially considering that it's only 2/10 off a provisional pole, at least for now. And that's actually a spinner. That is Solar.
Yep. Ardell.
And that's no front wing.
Ardell's provisional pole by 0.8 with a 15.6. which
Yes.
Ardell really needs in this championship to really get back in it.
But something to talk about though, if Ardell is not able to improve in his lap time, which is something I doubt, but this is more of a what if scenario here. If he invalidates the rest of his lap times and he has to start on 2 lap old softs, that's not going to help out his case. But all that is just speculation. We have 12 minutes left of qualifying.
Lots of time to improve.
Yeah, a lot of time to improve, especially at the track. It's going to grip up with all these drivers doing laps.
Yes, it will. And GXR Rage coming into Sector 3 had a little bit of a moment on the exit of the S section. Going to the stadium section. Into the hairpin. Does not lock up. Hits the apex very nicely there. And coming into the final corner, does GXR Rage. Hits the last apex. Into short run to the line. Doesn't take the short route, crosses the line. Goes P6 on the mediums with a 17.4.
Yes, and Skeppy, you're already in the party in your pit lane, so let's get this interview started with, make sure your audio is included. Alright, so anyway, to start off this interview, Skeppy, you was a reserve driver, but now, last few races, you're starting to get your attendance in, and last few races, you haven't had the best of times, but at least so far in this qualifying, it seems like you're trying to make that change. What you said though about that game doing 2 hours before the race is something that is very relatable anyway.
It is.
But what are you expecting really with you being P4 at least so far? Only I believe
second off.
If you go to best, yeah, second off the pole off of mediums and are down the sauce. What do you think you're gonna be able to do in qualifying and in the race if it goes your way?
Stay on the track. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good mentality to have, if I must say so myself. Bimu, do you have any questions for the Aston Martin driver, Skeppy?
No.
Alright, that will do it with your pre-race interview. You're free to leave the party at any time. You can stay in here if you want, but I wouldn't advise it.
Take inspiration from Cam. Good. Have fun.
Have fun. Man, I don't like that guy. I'm playing. But anyway, while we're doing that interview, Skeppy, Ron in the Ferrari went P2 with a 16 flat. So I think Ardell put down a very competitive lap time considering the grip levels. And right
and
as
our
I say
debut
that, Silencer, debut race, Silencer goes P2 for 15.8.
Ahead of our championship leader.
Yes. Speaking of the championship, I completely forgot to bring that up. So I have to pull it up from the standings unless you have it up
I have
already.
it up, yeah.
Alright, then run us down.
So it's Ron leading the way with 246 points, losing 7 points to Gary last race. So now his championship leads at 17 points, with Gary at 229, and a further like 52 points behind, we have Ardell, who has not had a great last few races, at 177. And in fourth, we have Ichigo, who's only made about half the races, is on 109 points. Kieran Evans, P5, 90 points. Mitchie, P6 on 83. Doggo, 7th on 64. Titan, who I don't think is joining us today, is on 47 points. Steak on 46. Potato on 40. Rage on 28, Whiffy 27, Kieran 21, Piastri on 18, Bad Bunny on 17, Quick Tongue on 15, and Goofy on 10.
Yes, that will do it for driver standings. But if we go to Constructors Championship, we have a Constructors battle heating up because Mercedes actually passed Ferrari, and they have their gap at 4 points between the two. But I wouldn't look out if I was those two teams because we have Red Bull only 17 off of Mercedes and that one in 13 off of Ferrari. So if any of these Merc and Ferrari drivers step over each other, Red Bull can definitely take advantage of that and get a whole bunch of points on those two teams. And then we actually have Alfa Romeo also not. Yeah, they're also not that far off of Red Bull. So
we have a four-way constructor battle here.
Yes, very something to look out for in the later stages of the season, which we're getting into. So around this point, if you're a driver with good consistency, this has to be a home run, especially like I said, in late stages of the season. Like I said, I'm gonna sound like a record right now, but consistency is key. No matter the sport, no matter how good or bad or good you are, as long as you're consistent, I think that would do better than being inconsistent.
And also, both McLarens are in second and third right now. Goofy went up to P2, and Solar went only 9 thousandths quicker, but everyone seems to be closing in on Ardell's provisional pole at the moment, and Ardell's gonna go into the pits. He did not really have enough ERS and wasn't the greatest lap from Ardell, so I think he'll have probably one more run to go, trying to extend his advantage.
Yes, but the rundown constructors, we have Aston Martin P5, 133 off of Mercedes, and 101 off of Alfa Romeo. Then we have McLaren P6, only, I believe, that is 8 off of Aston Martin, and 141 off of Merc. Then we have Alpine, 5 points from McLaren, and 146 off of Merc. AlphaTauri P8, 9 off of Alpine, 155 off of Merc, and then we have Williams and Haas. So very tight constructors battles all the way around the midfield, the low field, or the backfield.
Back marker.
And yeah, back marker, whatever. I call it what I want.
Fair enough. Skeppy goes second. 1.3 tenths off Ardell.
Yeah, I missed that.
Oh, and Ichigo.
Wow.
I didn't even know Ichigo was in the session.
Yeah, he joined the session a while ago. And then Gary went up with P3 just now. So, yeah, both of us are correct about the lap times. You're going to start to ramp up, especially in the late stages of the session. We have 5 minutes left to qualifying. Anything can still happen.
Well, indeed, and yeah, people on the front row, only a couple minutes ago, Silencer was on the front row not too long ago. He's down in P8 now, which shows how close this grid is.
Yes, something to point out is that Kieran and Mitchie have not set a lap time, and Kieran is actually on the mediums.
Guess he wants to start on the mediums. And strategy. There's a lot of strategy options. It's a very marginal soft to medium or medium to soft one stop, but it is the quicker strategy. If you want to go safer, you can do any 2 stop, soft, soft, medium, soft, soft, medium. All those work, but the 1 stop is the quicker one, but it's very marginal to get to the end.
Personally, if it feels down to me, I would do medium soft, but no one here except for Kieran and Mitchie, at least, or
for now.
I wouldn't say they're not. Yeah, for now. But I believe Silencer's on a lap now, which he is. You want to take a hot lap before we move?
With who?
A Silencer.
Oh, and he validated.
Never mind, he invalidated.
I know what I'm
wow.
Quick tongue.
That's you can do if is Kieran on a lap.
Quick tongue's on a lap,
yeah,
descending sector 1.
Okay, you do one with Kieran Evans. And Kieran crosses the line and goes 16-4. But let's do a hot lap with Kieran if he doesn't invalidate here.
Okay. Got a lap with Kieran Evans. Didn't take the super wide line, but it doesn't matter. You don't lose too much. Down the super long straight, one of the longest straights in Formula 1. Pick your braking points about the 100-meter board. down to third gear, clipping the apex nicely. Chooses to miss the curbs, which is a safer option, but it does lose a lot of time in not mounting those curbs fully. Ending sector 1 for Kieran Evans. It's a 28.3, which is actually a very good sector 1 considering missed both curves, missing the apexes slightly, but carrying some momentum through the corners. Into the double right-hander. Hits those apexes very nicely. Gets a good exit. Into probably the trickiest part of the whole lap, the S section. Not using a lot of the track, but he seems to get a lot of time on the board as he's down in P15, so he seems to improve to get his way up the grid. And he's around 3/10 up into the stadium section, using a lot of curve on the inside. Braking just before the right-hand curb. Misses the apex a little bit. Clips that yellow sausage curve into the final corner. Does not hit the orange sausage curve on the inside. Runs a tiny bit wide, but the short run to the line. Across the line Kieran does, and goes P10.
Which, something to speak about. Ron was actually P2 at the start of the session. Now he's down to P11. I'm pretty sure, actually, Goofy improved on his lap time. I'm not sure, though. Yes, he did, actually, while we went on a hot lap. With a 15.686. Only 300ths off of the Red Bull driver, Ardell. Speaking of Ardell, he's starting a lap now. I'm not sure if he invalidated that one, too. No, he did not. He's on a lap now. Same with Ichigo.
He has a lot of cars in front of him. I don't know if they're on laps or they're going to get out of his way, so Ardell might get held up here. A lot of people sitting in the middle of the track.
That's enough for Mayo DXD. DXD's on a lap.
Yeah.
And ahead of him
is Piastri.
Aston Martin.
Piastri.
According to his battery, he's doing a second run, so
Ardell's gonna get held up here.
Oh, speaking of that's a retirement for Mitchie.
Yeses.
In the S section.
Piastri going very slowly, so if Ardell keeps going a little bit quicker and closing in, he's gonna start getting that dirty air, which I don't think he'll be too happy about.
Yeah, that's some oversteer from Mitch in the S section. That's another yellow flag. That's
Ardell
actually
lagging.
If he retired on track right in the middle of these guys.
Oh, that's a big collision between Piastri and Kieran, who also crashed out.
I didn't catch that.
Well, Ardell's lap.
We are down bad.
Ardell's lap got ruined a lot there because Whiffy was right on the racing line, so I don't think Ardell will improve. Yeah, he does. He goes 1.3 slower. So very unfortunate for Ardell.
So who's next across the line?
Ichigo backed out.
That'll be a Merc.
Ichigo's gonna go for another run, I think, as he invalidated his run.
Gary is going for a second run. I'm not sure about Ardell, but
yeah, all these cars are really close on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ichigo went a little too early. He's got his teammate in front of him. He could have left a bit more gap. He had more margin. Skeppy was provisional pole by 2/10.
Skeppy didn't lie. Skeppy did not lie. It wasn't a mid-14, but still pole position.
Originally, but yeah. And crucially, he crossed the line before the timer ran out, so he can do an in-lap without the AI ruining the tires.
Yes. But not all hope is lost, but something to talk about. Ardell is very low on battery. He's going to lose a lot of time on this straight.
GXR Rage retires.
This is not good. He's
2/10 up. Potato goes provisional
Potato
by a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, all eyes are on, I believe it's GXR Rage out in the S section, but all eyes are on the Red Bull driver. What can he do?
Too, so
he's up by 2.5 tenths. He gets a little oversteer.
Crossing the line.
Gets a little bit more of oversteer. Crosses the line.
P3.
Not enough.
That was Ardell. I think we're going to complete that lap because he's going to be on 2-lap tires with the AI also driving around for him. So, and Silencer goes ahead of his teammate of DXT Ichigo on his debut up to P4.
Oh, you think Ardell's situation's going to be bad? Look at Silencer. 4-lap old sauce.
4 laps on his tires. Yeah, his tires are going to be shot. He's definitely committing to a 2-stop with that.
Yeah. As Quickdown has left the session, it'd be nice if he gets him an invite, but that will be qualifying done and dusted.
Yep, so it's Potato on pole.
Unless Skeppy wants to do another lap.
He would want to.
The game's broken for him, but nah, he's going to pit
lane. Who do I need to invite?
Quick Tongue.
Okay.
Something to talk about, though, is that Ron in the Ferrari championship leader not qualifying in the top 10 compared to Gary's 30P6, but that means that Ron
Free
gets
tire
free
choice,
tire
yeah.
selection.
He definitely, I know Ron can go quicker than that, but I don't think he wants to risk being in that like P7 to P10 range. It's better to be P11 because you get the free tire choice.
Honestly, like I said in start qualifying, if it was down to me, I would do medium soft here. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
And we know Ron is very consistent, so which he has been throughout this entire season.
Yes, I did not actually catch Potato crossing the line. I thought he was on an out lap, starting his lap, but that will be qualifying and done and dusted. Potato, the Australian in the Williams, pole with a 15.2. Skeppy, the Canadian, P2 in the Aston Martin, 15.3, a whole 10th off. Then we have another Canadian P3, the Red Bull, 15.4, a 10th and a half off. Then we have Silencer, DXD, Gary, Goofy, Solar, Bad Bunny, Kieran, Ron, Rage, Quick Tongue, Whiffy, Kieran, Stick, Eat Doggo, and Piastri, and Mitchie.
Rounding out the grid.
Yep. So, considering how tight this field is, I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be a very close race.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It may not sound like it, it's because I'm like tired. I wasn't able to sleep much last night, but I am definitely excited. I'm gonna be woken up though.
Yeah.
For this race,
We have basically a full grid, which is very rare to see in Tier 3, so should be a good one.
Yes, it will. There it is. It's gonna be a full dry race. I'm not sure if I said that in the stream or not, but if I didn't, there you go. Full dry race. Look at race director. I want to bet at least 3 guys are starting on mediums outside top 10.
I think everyone outside top 10 should be.
Yeah. Eat Doggo's on mediums. Over or under, Moonboo? 4 drivers starting on mediums.
I would say over.
Alright, we'll see.
Makes the most sense.
If you're wrong, if you're wrong, you owe me $5.
No.
Oh. Man. Only 1 driver. That will be Yeet Doggo. At least so far. That is interesting, to say the least.
So Ron, our championship leader, looks like he might be starting on the medium or on the soft, sorry, not the mediums.
Oh, Kieran is on the medium, so that makes it 2. You have 6 seconds to make a decision.
Yeah, if I had free tire choice, I'd definitely want to start on the medium compound tires.
Piastri mediums. It's gonna be 3 drivers on the mediums.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot lower than I thought it would be.
You owe me $5.
I really don't, but okay. Yeah, we only have 3 medium runners. That's very surprising to me because medium to soft I think is the quickest strategy.
I'm glad to see that we're on the same page there, but one has their own preference, so we can't really trash them for it.
I mean, we can, but
Looks stupid for it though.
fair enough.
DXD does not have a helmet, by the way, so
Disqualified.
he needs to be disqualified.
Yeah, disqualified.
Yep.
Dangerous.
If we saw last week with Kieran, actually, he had quite a lot of pace compared to everyone else, so we're going to see if he has that same type of pace as well here at Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix, but we're already officially over halfway this formation lap.
Didn't Kieran...
Something to talk about as well is the S section. It's a very good trap for time penalties, so it's going to be very interesting to see there as well.
It's really...
See how this time penalties pan out.
Who's the most comfortable taking the most risk? Because you can gain a lot of time on the people that take it very carefully, but if you take the risk, you're gonna gain a lot of time, but you're in more danger of getting a time penalty. So it's who feels the most comfortable to really send it.
Alright, that's formation lap done and dusted. That did not feel like a minute and 30. But anyway, Tato, our pole sitter, actually for the first time in his BRL career, will start on pole position for the Mexico Grand Prix. Now we're waiting on him to start lining up the grid. And plop, there he goes. In this grid slot. Now we're just waiting
To get underway.
on the Red Bull of Mitchie. This is going to be very exciting. Start of this Grand Prix.
Will we see how it in real life is, where P3 gets the best start with the slipstream?
Maybe. We have to wait and see. Anyway, 5 lights are on. 5 red lights. Quick
Jumps the
time after
start.
penalty, and it slides out, and away we go.
Tato,
It's
really
like
good
you said.
start.
Potato gets a really good start. Ardell for P3 and the P2. Now Slipstream's gonna come into play. And like you said, Ardell has a Slipstream. He's getting a run. Let's see if he looks for a dive here. Yes, he does. But Potato with the deep braking. Ardell with even more deep braking. And that's contact between the two. That is scary off. And that is
Ardell into
Ardell,
the
your
lead.
race leader. But here comes BRL Skippy. He's dumping the battery, same with Ardell. But now I believe that is actually a virtual safety car.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
So a very controversial first couple laps as Piastri hits the back of GXR Rage, but I have a feeling that'll be looked at into the stewards, because Ardell kind of just barged Potato out of the way and made him half spin and made him lose 3 positions, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we're gonna have also another stewards inquiry between Rage and Piastri. Both of them got 5 seconds. But
Skeppy
anyway, Skeppy
really
is
close.
all over the back of Ardell.
He's itching to get in front, and Ardell drives off the track. Beautiful job. And Quick Tongue is out.
I'm not sure if that's on track.
I think, well, it was on track.
It is on track, but did he manually do it, or did the car get damaged?
Still a long VSC.
Anyway. Yeah. Uh-oh! Oh, that was... I'm not gonna bother. Everyone's going back up to speed, though. Is it gonna end soon?
I don't know. We haven't gotten the message of VSC ending, so...
Bro, I swear if this lobby's bugged. We've officially been under a whole lot of VSC. Never mind, we're wrong. We're back under green. Skeppy's got a big run on Ardell. He's gonna look for a dive. No, he doesn't. Ardell with the deep brakes. He's able to stay ahead of Skeppy, but Skeppy's looking for a crossover move. And he's not able to get it. Now the X section, like you said, who's gonna take the most risk? Actually, Mitchie ahead of Piastri in the back there. But now go to the X section. Skeppy. Oh, Ardell gets on the curb. He saves the car though. That allows Skeppy to get all over the back of Ardell. He goes to quarter. He definitely got awarded for that one. But still, here we go. I'm not sure what quarter name this is or number, but nonetheless, Ardell with the deeper brakes anyway is able to stay ahead of Skeppy. The DRS will be activated next lap, but nonetheless, this is very tight between the two, but now we're going down the main straight. Skeppy fastest lap and going pre for 27, 21. Oh, never mind.
Out of the race.
And that's actually passed out of the race, and we have a...
what is Skeppy doing? Skeppy, what are you doing? Skeppy. Okay then. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Well...
Oh, he almost hit the back of... Ardell.
Mind games? This is probably some mind games.
And something to point out, on lap 2, Skeppy's already on 2 warnings.
Very interesting.
So he's not taking the advice that I gave him. Stay on the track.
He said that he would try, so...
But he's already 2 warnings, so he's basically guaranteed a penalty.
That was a quick VSC, I'll tell you that much. We're back underway.
Yeah.
Something to talk about is that we're saying that as this was only these two, the Alfa Romeo driver, Dixie Inshigo, no helmet by the way, is on the back of Skeppy, so if any mistakes are made, But now with DRS, this is gonna punch everyone back up again.
Basically, everyone's within DRS except for Utah. I don't know what happened to him. And Bud
Bad
makes a
Bunny.
move on Kieran.
Yes,
Oh,
but now
really?
DXT is all over the rear gearbox. I was not able to catch that. DXT all over the rear gearbox of Skeppy and Aston Martin. So Skeppy needs to get a move on. He's using the battery here. He's probably going to look for a move on Ardell. Ardell's up in the battery as well. But here comes Skeppy on the outside. Hits him with a little dummy. Let's see what DXT does. And now that allows Skeppy to be out of this Grand Prix, and he will get DRS. Ardell does not have DRS, but DXT does. So Ardell maybe has a chance to even lose out the DXT here, but disregard that, as now Skeppy is your new leader of the Mexican Grand Prix for the time being.
He is indeed, and something I noticed from Ichigo, I was on board with him, with him being in P3, is he wanted to force Skeppy to try and overtake, or wanted to force Skeppy to overtake Ardell and make him use battery. So Ichigo.
Oh, battle for P4, P16 and 15, 14. I don't know, but they're banging wheels, NASCAR style. But hold on, give me a second. All right, back up to the lead. So that means Ardell, DXT still has the DRS. DXT cannot take an opportunity as DXT origin Alpine 3-second time penalty. Yellow flag, I believe. That is for Mitchie. Yes, it is. But here we go. Once again, darted out with a 9-10 lead. And fastest lap for 17.6. So here we go again between DXT and Ardell. But Ardell has DRS this time. So it's down to straight line speed. And yes, he is. Is Ardell trying to hit Skeppy for dummy? He tried, but to no avail. But Ardell already at 30 battery, like you said.
Yeah, to go back what I was gonna say before is that Ichigo is really baiting these top two into using all their battery because he's still on 50%, but he's still within the DRS. So Ichigo in a really good position right now.
Oh, Ardell is all over the rear gearbox of Skeppy right now. The DRS just allowed Ardell to be right back into Skeppy's rear gearbox. But X section, dirty air, once again. Everyone, every lap, round here, time and time again, who's going to be the first person in the front to grab a 30-second time penalty, if they even do collect a 30-second time penalty. But this is about BRL, it's just the intense and tight battles that we have on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we do. And the top three are really stretching away here because Potato's almost over 2 seconds now behind the leaders. So these three are really showing that they have the best pace of the whole field.
Here we go, DXT all over the river. Now let's see if he has a slipstream advantage. Ardell is blinking, DXT not using the battery. He's almost touching the grass at this point. Here we go, going into turn one. Ardell very deep on the brakes. And Goofy actually gets around Potato, at least not for now. They're going wheel to wheel, going into turn one. Now going into turn two. Now going to turn three.
It's just going for it again.
That's a snap of oversteer. Ichigo looking for a move on Ardell. Ardell pinching him all the way to the grass. That's a warning. I would try to get that removed. Nonetheless, Ardell is still able to stay ahead of that Alpha Driver DXT Ichigo. And while during all of that,
broke the DRS for now. So these two scrapping have really helped Guppy here.
No, he does not have DRS. Ardell does not, but DXT does. That is going to help him out tremendously here.
And Ardell has no battery to use, so yeah, Ardell using too much battery in the beginning is now hurting him because he can't use it at all to close in, and yeah, he's out of DRS, so I think Ichigo is just going to sail past here. And Gary up into P5. He got past the silencer. With the little scrap that Potato and the silencer had.
Here we go, DXT and Ardell. Like you said, Ardell, no DRS. DXT does have DRS. He's not even using the battery. He has oversteer. He's just going to fly by Ardell. And something I noticed is that DXT will still get DRS here, no matter how far behind ahead you are, as long as
you get the first
get DRS. Yep.
Yep, so he's got to close this gap up to Skeppy and try and get in DRS, or they're just going to keep swapping and battling and let Skeppy run away even more.
Yeah, but Potato dropped down to P4, not P4, P5. Gary is up into P4. But something surprisingly Ron has not made much time up on these guys, especially, well, gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. He's in a DRS train here, so there's nothing he really can do.
Yeah.
Unless someone makes a mistake here.
Or you're just massive distraction. Ardell is the top 3 to get time penalty. Oh, and Ichigo gets a time penalty.
DXD, where are you going?
What do you do?
That's a yellow flag, Kieran Evans. DXD was like all 4 wheels off the track, so Skeppy is taking your advice.
So that's a long way to go on 2 warnings, so yeah, he's gonna have a very...
That's another yellow flag. This other Alpine driver of rage.
Yeah, Skeppy's gonna have a very stressful race trying to keep good pace but not off the track once. In 28 laps when you can go off the track in nearly every single corner of this track.
Well, but the battle between Dixon and Ardell is shaping up once again. These two seem like they can never get away from each other so far in this Grand Prix. We're already on lap 8. Can you believe that?
No, it's gone by very quickly. And yeah, back to Ron, how he's not made up positions because he's in a DRS train. That's why I think that starting on the mediums for him would have been better, because the salt do drop off, and they're going to start dropping off at this point now. So I think Ron starting on the mediums would have been the better plan, because I don't think he would have lost any more really positions, maybe 1 or 2, but being on that faster strategy, because now he's just stuck in a DRS train. Oh, and Skeppy gets a penalty. Yeah, that was inevitable for him.
If we look for a gap to leader, closest person to getting on the 3-second threshold is Gary. Gap's only at 4.3 though. It doesn't help either that behind him he has a very, very quick Williams driver behind him. And then behind him we have Science.
Oh, it's gonna be hit spins out of the final corner.
Oh, thank you for catching that. I'm not sure if he has any wing damage, but
the wall, so I'm assuming he's just gonna pit.
Oh yes. Is Ardell doesn't have DRS on.
Yeah. He has no battery also.
So this brings everybody right back in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, with Gary being in the
Gary doesn't even have ERS either.
Yeah. So Ichigo being in the lead just out of DRS, and he has the most battery at the front of his field currently.
Yes. Originally, DXD would be P3, Ardell would be P4, but with Skeppy spinning out, speaking of spinning out, that's the McLaren of Goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to Ron, starting on the mediums, I think this is when the mediums will start kicking in, but knowing Ron, he's going to find a way, and it's already happening. The way is already making a path here, with top 3 getting time penalties,
and she goes stretching
Skeppy
away.
Spinning out, and now, yeah, he is. But anyway, with Skeppy spinning out and now Goofy spinning out, Kieran gets a 3-second time penalty. Everyone around Ron has time penalties, so here's to see consistency already for Ron kicking in.
Yeah, Ron's only 5 seconds off the lead at the moment, but down in P7, so if he does not get any time penalties...
That's Potato win!
Yeah, Potato definitely committing to a 2-stop unless he goes onto the hards, which I would not see being the quickest strategy.
Something to note, though, is Skeppy is on the soft, so he's going for a soft medium.
Yep, and Potato goes on medium, so confirming that he's probably, committing to a 2-stop strategy here.
Let's see where Skeppy ends up compared to Potato.
Did Skeppy get a wing change? I didn't catch that.
I didn't either.
Because he did clip the wall, but it wasn't a very big hit, so...
Well,
his car was going away from the wall
lap.
and tapping it, so yeah, I don't think he got wing damage from that.
I believe... Never mind, but... Anyway, Gary is in the DRS range of Ardell.
Yep, he's just going to stay on the back of him. And yeah, Ron at this point is in a good position. Even though he's in P6, he has no penalties yet. So if he keeps that up, then he'll definitely get a really good result here.
Yes, everyone, the only people ahead of him, traditionally, that doesn't have any time penalties is Gary and Silencer. As actually, that is Ardell coming in the pit lane.
And Silencer as well. So
I'm not surprised considering that he had 4 laps to qualifying.
Yeah, I don't know how he kept that.
He's about 14 laps.
Yeah.
Very impressive. He goes on medium soft, unless he's stretching the medium. Same with Ardell.
So Ichigo's staying out. If Ichigo stays out for until around that 15, he can definitely make it to the end of the medium, so which he might do.
Something to talk about, though, is that if Ron stays in the DRS as Solar doesn't have any DRS.
Yellow flag,
Gary.
Bad Bunny's out of the
That's actually
session.
Bad Bunny.
Will that be a safety car?
Uh-oh.
Safety car!
Yes, it is.
Go. And all the others that stayed out are kind of saved here, because they get undercut massively, because these softs are definitely going off. So yeah, safety car, which is very unfortunate for the people that just boxed.
So, what do you do now? Do you go on the mediums and hope that it sticks to the end, or do you stay committed with if you're doing a two-stop?
I try and stretch mediums personally, but depends on how high tire pressure these people are running, because that massively affects your tire wear if you are able to run them really high.
Got a good point there, so it's going to be down to the setup. You have a lot of experience sharing setups, though, that's for sure. So, you probably know more than me.
Well, yeah, because currently 25 laps, so they'll be doing around 23, which is very marginal, but if they do take care of their tires, they can definitely do that. They can definitely make it.
Everyone that is on softs coming in the pit lane. No! Ferrari's going to double stack.
Oh, dear. That is not good, because double stacking's... It's faster than it was before, but it's still slow. But, yeah, Whiffy not losing a lot of time, but stuck in the pit box there.
Softs.
Sauce for Whiffy. That's interesting.
Wait. Silencer. Wait. Who? Someone just went on softs. Oh, that was Kieran.
Whiffy and Kieran and Fig. But yeah, everyone else going on the medium compound tires.
Something to note. Skeppy's back. Skeppy's in the pit lane.
Yeah, going for
He
mediums.
went on the mediums, actually.
Yeah, because he went on to the softs again, I believe. And he has nothing to lose at this point, and he's not going to lose any track position, so it makes sense to fit onto the freshest tire as possible.
Look at time penalties here. Penalties. 3 for DXD, 3 for Solo, 3 for Ardell, 3 for Whiffy, 9 for Kieran, 3 for Skeppy, Rage, and Goofy.
Yeah, it's about roughly half the grid with penalties, and I guess I'll check warnings. Gary's on 1. Ron's
Mitchie
on
3 seconds just now.
under the safety car. Yeah, that's actually pretty easy to do if you're not really paying attention.
Oh, Skeppy, you good? I just caught that.
Yeah, I was on board with Skeppy. He spun under the safety car. Yep. So Ron, Mr. Consistent, is unfortunately I think on 2 warnings unless those are collisions. But yeah, he's on 2 trackable warnings. So it'll be a very tough road going to 25 laps to not get penalties. That'll be very tough, but I feel like if it's anyone, Ron could do it, because Ron, that's where he's gotten a lot of his results from. No offense to the guy, but yeah, he's gotten a lot of his results by keeping it on the track and not always being the quickest, but being the most consistent, which is why he's leading the championship.
Yep. He actually won. Kieran gets a 3 second just now under safety car.
Mistake, because I'm guessing from mediums.
Yes, so even with it being safety car track limits, it's still being very harsh.
Well, yeah, because you have a false sense of security of being under the safety car, that you're just fine to chill out, but no, yeah, you might lose focusing on other things. I've done it myself as well, just driving off the track, and yeah, it's easy to do when you're just not really paying attention fully.
Yeah, but something to note: 3 drivers are on softs. Yeet Doggo, Whiffy, and Kieran, so that's gonna be something interesting to look out for.
They'll definitely be on a charge.
Everyone else on mediums.
Yeah, the people on the softs are definitely committing to a 2-stop and for the short run. But everyone on the mediums, if they see a soft runner behind, there's no point fighting because you're on completely different strategies and you're not in the same race. So makes no sense to fight.
I wonder if safety car will be in this lap.
It should be. Yeah. It'll be Ichigo leading us the way.
You know, if I had to guess, I bet Dixie is going to go as light as he can. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
With safety car restarts.
It's a little.
They go as light as they can.
It's a little typical, but if you switch it up, which I've seen before, just switching it up by going slightly earlier, you could definitely build up a big gap on the restart by just catching someone out. If people predict what you're going to do, but you do the complete opposite.
Yeah. So, to see if I'm right.
Ichigo's got to slow down a little bit more though, because the safety car's still right in front of him. getting a little bit of front temps in. And will Ichigo go right on the line, or will he go on the exit of the final corner?
Pick one. He's gonna go the exit final corner.
Nope, he's gonna go right on the line. And Yital go.
Oh, that's 5 seconds. That's gonna be removed. DXD
Gone.
is going. He catches Gary out. Ron is making for move for P3 on Solar, but the straight line setup is helping out Solar. Ardell's looking for a move on Ron. This is gonna be interesting.
It's a three-way fight.
Here we go. They're gonna go three-way. They're gonna go three wide. Oh,
who's gonna back out?
Will that be contact?
And Ardell makes the double move.
It's not Ardell. Wow.
Oh, Ardell almost spins it.
As Ardell goes off.
He has battery onto that entire corner. So yeah.
So
Ardell making up the double places, but now losing about 6 or 5.
Kieran already up to P7. Oh! Silent surface snap of oversteer. It has to hit Kieran. Now Ardell going up the inside. Oh, that's contact! Silencer goes off in the grass. They're able to save it though. That's contact system being the contact system. But nonetheless, we set it under safety car. Ron being Mr. Consistency, he's doing it again.
Just sitting right in the back, yeah. And ideally, he doesn't really need to win the race. He just wants to finish right in front of Gary, because he doesn't. Even if it finishes like this, he's only losing like what, 3 points, and at that point it's okay. But yeah, he wants to finish in front of Gary.
Stig, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but gotta look out for right now is for P6 between Ardell and Kieran. Kieran with the slipstream and the overspeed now looks on the inside. Only 25 battery compared to 30 battery. Actually.
Yeah, these lot are burning
Not that big of a difference. So going in the turn one, who gets the deep? Who's the latest on the brakes? That's Kieran. He's up in the P6. Highest soft runners. Whiffy fell all the way down to P16. And E-Dog is P11.
Yep, and Kieran's on the charge, and I don't know why Ardell was really, I think he was using battery, I don't know why, because he's going to be in front of Kieran again anyway, if Ardell does not stop again, so it doesn't make sense to really fight. He just needs to try and follow Kieran, as Kieran will definitely be slowing people down like going for moves.
Is he going to look for this? Oh, he's going to go for a switchback maybe in the S section. Maybe something interesting to look out for. He's able to get the run here, which he does not, so he's going to have to stay behind Potato a little bit longer. But
Ron's struggling.
Something to look out for. No, I wouldn't say they're struggling.
Well, he's low battery and just barely within the DRS. Yeah, the top two are on 80%. Ron's on only 30, and he was just out of the 1 second for a few moments. But yeah, he really needs to stay in his DRS to be in contention for this race win.
Depending on how this race has went many different ways, anybody's favor. So
Potato going defensive on Kieran.
Oh yes, I see that now. Board of Kieran. Kieran's looking for a switchback Potato. He's gonna try to look on the inside here. He somewhat gets the better traction, but with the battery, he's only at 5 compared to Potato's 31.
Oh, and Kieran goes for a big dive down the
dummy
inside.
move.
That was a really nice dive.
And he gets it. Wow.
He made the corner. Oh
no!
Ardell hit. Whoa.
Ardell hits the back of Potato.
Is that wing damage for Ardell? I would hope so. Honestly, with that amount of contact.
I'm so confused.
That was a lot of lag. Ardell's been lagging throughout this race, so.
Yeah, this is lag if I've ever seen
he might
it.
Be
oh, that's mid-cheer round with the. Oh man, that's Goofy and Potato just now. So everyone around Ron, except for Gary,
has time penalties.
Has time penalties. Who would have seen that one coming?
Yeah, you're not wrong with that one. But yeah, Ardell, I don't know what's going on with his Wi-Fi or whatever, but yeah, he's really lagging around this race, so he's got to sort that out. Because I don't think he actually got wing damage from that.
Battle for the lead, by the way. Anyway, Gary on the rear gearbox did that for male driver DXD Ishigo. I will not lie to you. I will not be surprised if DXD becomes a team player for Ron to hold up Gary. That way Ron can get around Gary to extend his championship lead. As Solar's in the DRS of Ron. Silencer 3-second time penalty. Only 2 drivers remain.
Yeah, it's only down to Gary and Ron with no time penalties. So yes. Now it's not who has no penalties, it's who has the least amount of penalties, pretty much, to get it up a bunch of positions.
This is some battle royale going on right now. Ron is literally missing these curves. I'm on board with him. He's making sure that he doesn't get a time penalty.
Yeah, he's taking no risk here, which he really can't take any risks at all with this championship on the line. One mistake, and he could lose the championship lead here.
Oh, let's see if... Oh, never mind, actually. It seemed like Kieran was in on the brakes. Rage, with another 3 seconds, gets around the BRL Ardell. But... once again, Gary.
Oh no, get the time penalty.
Yeah, another one. Dixie and Gary are on the battery. Gary's not on the battery, but Dixie is. Never mind. But let's see if Dixie does switch back here. He's deep on the brakes though, still hanging on the outside and is not able to get a switchback here.
Gets the better exit, but he's not gonna have the DRS.
He gets a better exit.
But yeah, he doesn't have the DRS. Yeah, Gary's still on the battery. He doesn't really need to though, because he has the DRS. Unless Ichigo can go for a massive dive, he's gonna be stuck behind.
Yep, Kieran actually got around Solar, but 5 laps off on Kieran, so they're gonna start dropping off soon. So he needs to get the move on now.
Yeah, his whole strategy is based around getting through as many cars as possible. But I don't know if that's gonna work. If all these medium runners do go to the end, then he's sort of screwed here, having to make another full pit stop, and he will be on the medium compound tires, so he's not going to have the crazy pace advantage that the softs do at the end.
Yeah, we're already about to be over halfway of this Grand Prix, but something notable is that DXT is going to have DRS on Gary, so everyone's going to be bunched up again. I will not be surprised if he's on the battery. Liffey gets around Kieran Evans for P12, but here we go, battle for the lead. Let's see. DXT definitely has a straight line setup compared to Gary, but DXT with the DRS, let's see what he does on the outside. And he almost in the grass, like you said, yeah. But is Gary very deep on the brakes? Ooh, Gary actually stays ahead of DXT.
Gets a way better exit.
But look who's this helping. Yeah, DXT gets a better exit.
But DXT's gonna use no battery just to drain Gary's.
Yes.
As Goofy's out of the race. Will that be a safety car?
That's in the pit lane.
Oh, okay.
That's in the pit lane.
Never mind. Okay. As in safe, that was.
Oh, DX! Oh, I thought he was gonna look for a dive there, but nonetheless, look who is right behind these guys. Ron, Kieran, and Solar.
Yes, but the save. That was a safety car. That brings Kieran right back into this race, having to make another pit stop, guaranteed. So, but no, unfortunately for Kieran, there's not a safety car.
Oh, will he look for a move on Ron here? No, he does not. He's going to wait onto the main straight, skipping for another 3 seconds. Still another lap down. Oh, Gary, yeah, a bit of a mistake there. I was about to point that out. But if Ron is at 24 battery, if he's able to manage the battery height compared to
Kieran, I don't know why he's using. He's way too far back. He does not have enough to use or to get past. Ichigo weaving around on the straight, trying to go for the spot that he wants, and then he took the inside and is fully clear into turn 1 with the most battery of the field.
Yes.
So yeah, Ron not managing his battery. He doesn't need to be using. He just needs to sit behind, charge it up, and then go for the move in the latter stage of the Grand Prix.
Well, he's gonna have an opportunity here. Not close enough though. Kieran very deep on the brakes. Hits the back though. I doubt that's any damage. I bet that's just I think that was a message of, hey, I'm here, I'm faster than you, you better let me through, I'm going to do it the hard way. I think we all know what scenario is going to happen. Nonetheless, it's another yellow flag. That is for Rage around. Alpine driver not having a great day.
Yep, and Kieran gets another time penalty. I think it's 9 or 12 seconds for him.
There we go.
Ron
Kieran
going
looking for a move.
Push him wide.
Ron forces Kieran wide, and Kieran has to settle. Yes, Ron had the corner, so gets sent to stewards.
I'd say that's NFA. Ron was basically a full car length in front. And it was around the outside, so yeah, you're not going to get through there. Yeah, and again, Ron still using all his battery. He did not need to be using. He just needs to sit back and save up. But yeah, Ichigo, who's leading the train with a penalty, has the most battery, ironically, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but shows Ichigo really knows what he's doing. He definitely has the racecraft.
Yep, Gary will have the DRS once again. Let's see if he looks for a move here, or he's not close enough. Maybe close enough, but no, he plays it safe. DXD goes defensive though. Gary is in first gear. First gear again. Doesn't get the best of traction though.
Yeah, I don't know why he's in first gear though.
Oh, he gets another snap.
Yeah, the medium traction control really overstates the oversteer with the way you just slam the throttle. And Solar gets a time penalty.
Kieran is all over.
Ardell and Skeppy side by side of the yeses right now. Oh, what happened?
Oh, Kieran, what an overtake. What an overtake for Kieran. Now here comes Solar. What has happened?
Yeah, what's happening?
I was able to catch that.
Yeah, Ron, if I was Ron, I'd just try and sit behind Kieran while his softs are still okay. And just sit behind and make sure when he does pit, he does get the DRS. And Ron really needs to just save up his battery for the end of this race, but he's draining again.
That will help out Gary tremendously.
Yeah, because
What?
Solar, no, he does have DRS, but he's just outside of a second. Gary going for the move on
here we go.
Ichigo trying to hold it around the outside, breaks a lot later. And yeah, Ichigo's corner, he could just give him not quite enough space, but give him the sensation that he could. Makes his way through, but Gary goes for it again around the outside, running out of battery.
There we go.
And Ichigo goes through on the inside. Gary goes very deep into that corner. Ichigo going for the switchback around the outside, actually. Just enough room for him. Ichigo going around the outside again. Can he make the move stick?
Wow.
Very good battle, and this brings Kieran.
They're going to go will to will going through here. Someone's going to have to back out.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, and it was Gary. Kieran hitting the rear gearbox of Gary, so.
And look who's back. Ron again. Ron back again, so. Yeah, Ron just sitting back and playing patient. It does work.
What? From Ron here, do you try and get around Kieran ASAP? Because we're about to have 10 laps of sauce for Kieran, but
and Kieran comes to the
probably
pits.
around 8 laps, Kieran's actually in.
Yeah, so Ron's gonna really have to use his battery here because he needs to be within a second of the cars in front, but she's really far back, so Gary goes for the move for the lead again.
Gary's looking for a move again. Here we go.
No battery.
He's... I can get a good camera, thank you, but... Oh, Gary actually 460 wide. Battle for third, by the way, between Solar and Ron. Solar was able to get around Ron, which is not what Ron needed whatsoever. But DXD swaying back and forth, maybe to hit Gary for dummy, but it does not work.
Gary in the net lead, but it'll be interesting if some of these people are not confident that they can make it to the end with Gary sliding around everywhere. It's not good for those tires, so you could see maybe him making another pit stop. We don't know. We have no idea what the tire is at for these people, so we don't know if everyone's going to go to the end or if they're going to make another pit stop and go for a short dash on softs, but it'll be interesting at the end of the race.
Something interesting to talk about is Gary gets a 3-second, but Ron does not. And Ron is barely in that window for 3 seconds, so Ron is probably hoping for a Gary 3-second time penalty here.
Gary's only have one warning.
That's something interesting to talk about. I actually thought you would have too, but nope. Here comes DXD once again, though. Has DRS on Gary. I think these two are just going to start swapping. Yeah. Unless Gary does another dive here. No, he does not.
Yeah, Gary does not need to fight Ichigo. He needs to play patient, save up his battery, and just go for the move at the end of the race just to get that track position to make sure you win it on track. Because he has no pressure behind, so he doesn't really need to overtake it too much. He can just close the DRS to the end of the straight, lift off, and save more battery.
And Kieran, another 3-second time penalty, but something notable is that Gary already 6/10 behind DXD. The tire wear is probably not good for Gary whatsoever.
Yeah, the way he's sliding around everywhere. It's not going to be nice to those tires. Yeah, Ichigo extending his gap without using battery, and he does have the battery advantage at the moment. So if Ichigo can keep this like 7, 8, 10th gap, unless Gary uses every bit of battery, he should be fine in turn 1.
Yes, and Solar is actually gaining on Gary as well. But this main straight is not going to help whatsoever for Solar and definitely Ron.
But yeah, Ichigo does not need to use battery here, because yeah, Gary, doesn't use any battery because he knows he's not going to be able to get past. If he wants to get past, it'll be down into turn 4.
Someone that has went completely under the radar. Yeet Doggo, P5, 12 lap on
Ardell makes
softs.
the move on Skeppy
Ardell
with no battery. Both of them
Yes.
have no battery. They're both flashing. Or Skeppy's not, but he will be in the straight.
Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. That's for a front wing change. I thought Potato was just going on the softs just for strategy reasons, but never mind. But Gary, once again, already back at 7/10 range. Not good for his tire wear.
Yep, but Utah going P5, but he still needs to make his pit stop, and he won't be on the softs to have that like 2-second advantage at the end of the race. He will be on medium, so that will hurt him, because if he went on the medium compound tires and he still wanted to make an extra stop, he would have like, I think it's 2 to 3 seconds at the very end if you're on brand new softs.
Yes, it would. Look, leader gap 3.2. Around that'll be around 2.5. Ron is 3-second window of Gary for Gary to get another 3-second time penalty. But if Ron, speaking of Doggo, he pits. Mitchie gets another 3-second time penalty. Will Gary look for a move here? No, he doesn't. He actually lifts off the throttle.
Yeah, like I said, he doesn't need to make the overtake. With his very limited battery, he needs to just save that up, because that's, yeah, that's all he needs to do. He has no penalties yet, and I think he's on 1 warning still, so all he needs to do is sit behind, save up his battery, and can go for the move at the very end of the race.
Yes, the gap 1.3 between Solar and Gary. If you're Gary and if you find out that Solar's in the DRS, and if also knowing that he's bringing Ron a championship contender along with him, what do you do when it comes to being aggressive with Dixie Ishigo?
Basically just aggressive with anyone. It's just force them to not defend the inside, and you can kind of just brake very late and get through, but Solar has the most battery in this field. He's at almost 70%, so if he gets in that DRS, he can definitely play games and force all of them to use the battery that they don't really have. What Ichigo was doing at the beginning, he had the most, and he would use like a spurt stint at the start of the straight to close in, and then just not use anything at all, and force them all to use everything.
Oh, that is not good news for Ron. He's out of the DRS of Solar.
Yeah, and Ron has no ERS, so I think Ron is just trying to make it to the end without a penalty, because he's been on 2 warnings for quite a while. Yeah, he's been on 2 warnings since lap 2, so Ron really not taking risks with track limits just to make it stand with no penalties, which I guess makes a little bit of sense.
It does.
Rage gets another time penalty.
Rage, another time penalty.
Yep, so the penalties racking up. Kieran has the most with 12. And Solar's on 6, I guess. I thought he'd be on 3, but no, he's on 6. So Solar has nothing to lose, so he can definitely use everything and close in. And he can definitely be effective in this race if he's very aggressive.
Yeah. Solar needs to get in the DRS range if you're in Ron's shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, he really just need to close that gap, because he has such a big battery advantage. But yeah, Gary's sitting behind. He's up to the same ERS of Ichigo. So yeah, sitting in DRS and not overtaking is strategy here. Skeptic gets another time penalty after 9 seconds now.
Solar is right there.
And Gary
for the
lifts off
DRS
again.
of Gary.
Yeah.
There you go. Solar's in the DRS range now.
He won't get it on this straight, but yeah, Solar's really DRS. So yeah, that 70% advantage he had now is he has the same as the 2 leaders now.
I would not be surprised if Gary steps it up a notch when it comes to the aggression, because we've seen it. If you stay wheel to wheel for even at least for 3/4,
Someone's getting
everyone
pushed
behind
off.
is stacked up.
Or someone's getting pushed off.
That one too.
Something that...
As Solar is in the DRS.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Ichigo was dropping back, so I thought he might try and back Gary up into Solar, who has 6 seconds of penalty, so Solar does not have, like I said, anything to lose at this point, really, so... Oh, yellow flag.
Yellow flag, that's for Michi.
Spun around again.
As DXR Rage retired in the pit lane.
So, yeah, I'm guessing Gary's gonna overtake here, because he has saved up some battery, but yeah, he's just gonna use all of it again, so...
Yep, DC's also using his battery, so here we go once again. Who's gonna get the better braking into turn 1? It is DXT with the better braking. He's gonna stay alongside of Gary. Gary
Can't afford contact.
DXT.
Oh, and Gary spins it around. That is so massive for this championship.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, that is massive for this championship, as Ron is now, I think, in that lead, I think.
No, he's not in the... Wait. Oh, man.
Yeah, he is.
Solar got around DXT.
He did, but Ichigo has 3 seconds and Solar has 6. And yeah, Ron is within the 3 seconds, so right now, Ron is net leader. And Gary is dropped back by about 7 seconds.
If you're Ron here, how slow do you take these remaining laps?
Slow. Because at this point, I don't think he really cares how much he gains. Obviously, it does matter, but just not losing any points is the crucial thing coming to the latter stages of this.
Yes, and also in Ron's favor, Skippy's all over the rear gear box of Gary.
Yeah,
so this race has been turned upside down.
Yep. And again, Skeppy, 9 seconds of penalties, and I believe he's a reserve, so again, he has nothing to lose.
DXT's looking for a move on Solar with the DRS. He's just easily gonna have it. So, seems Kieran get around Stig. Here comes Skeppy looking for a move on Gary. That'll put Skeppy up in the P4, at least on track. Kieran gets around Stig, like I said, on 6 lap old softs. He's on another soft set, but now the Haas driver will be pressuring the Mercedes driver Gary, so having no time penalties has came to a waste.
Yep, for Gary, because yeah, making mistakes like that, you can't be bailed out by having no penalties. He'll make up a position, but he's still going to lose in the championship. And the question is, will Ichigo be able to break the 3 second of Ron? Because it's at 2.9 right now. So it'll be interesting if Ichigo lets Ron win, or if Ichigo takes the win.
No, I think DXT's going to be all out for himself here. As Kieran is using the battery, will he look for a move? Yes, he does. Backs out of it last second. Ooh, that was very close.
Yeah, a lot of people going for very audacious dives, and yeah, it's very risky. But Gary does not need to battle these two, considering he's out of the fight for the win, unless something else happens, which it very well might.
Oh, does Solar? Oh, yeah, I thought he was looking for a dive there, but still very close to rear gear box.
Gary drops
Kieran
down to P6.
Gets around Gary.
And Gary dropping down the field, but he's still net P4 at the moment.
Battle for the lead, shape heating up. Solar very deep on the brakes. He's able to hit the apex perfectly. This is helping out Ron crucially. If he has any questions,
Solar lets him through.
Okay, that is tactical.
Well, Solar does have the battery advantage, and he wants to do this for the main straight. And look, Ron is now in the 3 second window of Ichigo. He has a 9/10 margin, so he needs to take it carefully to not get a warning, but he also can't go too carefully where he drops 9/10s because he does not have DRS. And yeah, Ron using every bit of battery that he has, which makes sense because it doesn't have any DRS. So if these two keep scrapping, Ron could maybe get in the DRS because he's about half a second out.
I know Ron too much. He's not gonna fight this.
Yeah, he wants to win. He wants to extend his lead in the championship, which is very crucial going in. I think we have 6 races left at this point.
After this race,
5.
we'll have 5.
Yeah.
Australia, I think. Australia, Brazil, Jeddah, Abu Dhabi, Imola.
Yep, those are the races left. Not in the right order, but yeah.
No, it's actually in the right order.
Nope.
Kieran gets around to Skeppy. That's another yellow flag. That's for Kieran Evans. As neither Solar or DXD had DRS there.
Yeah, it's a bug in the game that I've seen a lot where
Bug.
it's just, you know, one person doesn't get DRS. I've had it where I'm like within 6 tenths of someone and I just don't get DRS. Oh, you did say another. I thought Brazil was after Saudi Arabia. My bad. And Ron, yeah, closing up again. Or no, he's not closing up. He's maintaining the gap. That's what he needs to do, is just maintain the gap.
Yeah, he just needs to stay in the 3 seconds of DXD. There's the most amount of points you can. Without 3-second time penalty.
Up to 9 now.
If we look at penalties here, DXD has 3. We're gonna put the gap to the leader 2.7. So if Ron needs Solar and DXD to start battling some more.
But yeah, Ichigo is dropping Solar. It's at 9 tenths. But Solar definitely has the battery advantage, so I'm assuming Solar wants to just try and win on track for the prize, so I'm assuming he'll go for it on probably lap 35. That's usually the best time to do it. If you go onto the last lap with 50% ERS, you can usually stay ahead.
Yes, but DXD gets the better exit, but Solar has a straight line setup. He's already gained a 10th if the game will stop bugging out, but
He's very quick in a straight line.
nonetheless, yes, yeah, so 2.7, 2.6 now, so seems like Ron is really strong in Sector 1, but Sector 2 and 3 is his weak spot, but Ron
out of the 3-second
dropped
now.
out of the 3-second gap.
Something we may see here that is, I'd say, is pretty common in Mexico. Going into the last lap, if you don't have a lot of battery and the person behind you does, and they're very close behind, you might see them play the dummy and take the DRS to try and win on track, which will cost a lot of time. So yeah, Ron dropping out 3.5 now.
This is going to be
gets another
very
penalty.
costly as Ardell. Yes.
Struggling to stay on the track.
So here we go. Once again, gap is 7.5, 8 tenths now. So will not be far enough. If I bet Solar can get close to DXD if he uses the battery.
He doesn't need to, because it's not close enough to the end of the race to where it's worth overtaking. It's worth just staying in the DRS with a decent margin to...
That's Ardell around.
Oh, Ardell
so.
around, yeah. Ardell.
Uh-oh. Will Solar has DRS. He turned off the DRS?
Yeah, he wants to stick behind.
What? That's very interesting.
He has the battery advantage, and I think he'd be pretty confident that he has the battery advantage, seeing as that he's been in DRS this entire time, and Ichigo's been leading most of this race.
As Ron actually let Kieran through.
I think that's smart.
He's not thinking of the race win. He's not thinking of this race win. He just wants to finish ahead of Gary.
Which is fair enough.
Which is something very smart.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take the risk, and yeah, Kieran probably would have been quite aggressive with Ron, and having Kieran with 15 seconds of penalty is not really worth fighting. Yeah, it makes sense to just let him by and not take that risk, because yeah, at this point he's gaining in the championship on Gary, which is, I think, all that matters at this point, so... Ichigo actually within a fight of this win now. Or he definitely is within a fight.
Uh-oh, here we go. Once again, 6/10 a gap. 5 tenths now. It's going to go down.
To the last lap.
If Solar's... Yeah, it's 2 laps left this Grand Prix. Can you believe it?
I did not think this Grand Prix would go like this at all.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole bunch of student parties too. It's going to be fire.
But I think if Solar, Solar just wants to win on track. But yeah, if he's within, I'd say 6 tenths going on to the last lap on the main street, he can definitely get past Ichigo.
Yeah, he just needs to dump.
Which he has that battery advantage, which is why I think he stayed behind, because he was too far back. So if he used all the battery, they'd be even on battery, and Ichigo would most likely have the DRS going onto the main straight, letting Ichigo win on track.
This is going to be something interesting to look out for, because...
Gary gets a time penalty.
Yep, we have our winner of the Battle Royale for time penalties, so there's that.
So, going into the last lap, Solar has closed up to Ichigo a little bit, but he's going to really have to use everything. I think... Yeah, that's 8 tenths. I was going to say the Delta might be bugged, but no, it's not. That is definitely 8 tenths. So Ichigo really has the pace here. and he has to use everything, and Ichigo does not have to use anything. He can save the little bit that he has for the straight. And yeah, Solar is gonna have to wait to win on track going into turn 4. He's gonna have to get a really good exit.
Oh! Yeah, he's gonna have to get the best exit of his life, but then shape it up to the best of his ability going through there. But XD still got a better one. But Solar is dumping the battery here.
Will he go for a big dive?
Oh,
he does!
Yes, he does!
That's a massive dive, and Ichigo just lets him through, because I think Ichigo just wants to win. And yeah, Ron dropping down to P5 on track. I don't think Ron's too bothered.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
What's the gap to leader? Where's he on to finish? I think P3 at this point? Yeah,
He's
P3.
Gonna be... Yeah, no, still, he would be P2. Now he would be P3.
Yeah, Ron's taking zero risk. He just wants to gain in this championship. Yeah, look how much he just dropped from Skeppy.
Well, going through the total section, the fireworks are gonna go off.
And the FPS will drop.
Solar off track. FPS will drop, but coming across the line, the McLaren of Solar will win on track, but the Alfa Romeo Ichigo will win the Mexican Grand Prix. Kieran gets P3 on track. Now it's Skeppy. Now it's Ron. P4 goes to Gary. Silencer. Kieran actually retires. That means only 13 drivers will finish, at least so far. Gary, P4, Ron, P3. Ron will gain 3 points on Gary, entering the Australian Grand Prix.
What a race.
So,
Ichigo winning. I did not think Ichigo would win that race, the position he was in with a very early penalty. And hats off to Ron for going no boardings since lap 2. That's it's a tough feat, but yeah. That's what Ron's been doing this whole season pretty much, just not getting any penalties and not crashing and being super consistent, which has definitely kept him the lead of the championship. And championships won over a whole season, not in the first few races. So I guess we gotta get to end the party for interviews.
yes, we do. Solar, actually, I want to point out, according to at least the game he selected, he actually got a P2 at his home track. So, round of applause to him.
Yeah. Solar. I need to know it's Solar.
There you go, there's Ron.
Okay, I'm glad it's Solar.
Yeah.
Zach, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
I'm gonna
can.
need you to send another in about, what, 10 seconds, count it down.
I don't think Zach can count.
Come on, I can't count. 1, 4.
Oh,
Three.
oh, you got your mic.
Your mic.
Let me fix that.
Solar. Well, I guess it'll just be us, you two for tonight
Solar's
because
not joining.
Solar's not able to do interviews, which is unfortunate. But everyone make sure the audio is included.
Oh, pain.
Oh. Anyway, Boo, you want to start us off with Ron and P3?
Yeah, Ron, congratulations on a podium, extending your lead in the championship again. Top P3 race.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Is your audio included, Ron?
it's not.
Ron, your audio is not included. It's not.
I don't want to say anything because Ron was going off on her.
It's because you left the party. That's
How
why.
about now,
Hey.
nerd? It was checked. It's still checked.
nerd.
Is it here?
It's if when you leave the party,
What?
Is it in
might
there,
stay
Zach?
checked. You
Come
still
on,
have to
come
include
on.
it again.
Alright, we're good. We're
Terrible
good. We're
audio.
good.
God, now I gotta repeat it.
Repeat it in like five-
I'm nervous.
five
Oh no, the
sentences.
race was good. Yada yada yada. Fucking damn it. Oh no.
Yo! Yo! Don't cuss on stream!
Shush.
Don't cuss on
Nothing
stream, boy.
happened. Skeppy's gonna beat me. But
Skeppy's gonna beat.
but besides,
Dixie,
so
I
race
swear.
went good. Safety car happened. Angry me because people do 2-stop when 1-stop work. Things keep going. Ardell made like the dumbest move. It
Classic
nearly
Ardell.
wrecked me and Solar. He put 3 wide in the middle because that's just what Ardell does. And I didn't see him do it. All of a sudden, he brakes and he zooms by me. I'm like, what the heck was that? And we hit each other, and he knocked the McLaren off the track. And then he almost knocked me off the track, but then we kept going, and then he spun himself out. Things kept going after that. Tires were terrible. I just could not save them, and I ended with 83% and the luck of God
Yeah.
on my side. I was so mad because I went from thinking like 5 laps before the end, oh dude, I can win this, to that tire light's pretty dark, and then I click it and I look and it's like 75%. Oh no!
At that point, you can't pit. It's too late.
Oh yeah, no, I thought about pitting earlier and I was like, nah, I don't have the pace. I just gotta try to stay with Solar, and I thought I could still get Solar, but that last lap, I had to let those guys through. I couldn't take the chance of them touching me because there was no rear end. If they touched me once, I probably would have went to the Shadow Realm. And so that was, I'm glad I got points. My main goal at that point was just get the
Finish ahead of
podium.
Gary.
No, not even Gary. I'm kind of disappointed. I thought he would be farther down than 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
I need him to move away from me.
So.
But now I can say whatever I want, and he can't say anything back to me because he's not here.
I have 2 questions. I have 2 questions for you, Ron.
Go for it.
How did you feel when Gary spun?
I didn't even notice he spun. I didn't see him at all. All of a sudden, I was just in 3rd, no problem. And I looked behind on the board, and he was like getting passed by Skeppy. But I was too focused on the tires at that point. He spun around when I was trying to just save tire, and there was no saving. And what is your second question, good sir?
How did you go 34 laps with no warnings?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I got my first warning on lap 1, and that one I could have got removed. I kept that in my mind because I got forced off the track going into turn 1. Because I think at first I thought we were 3 wide, and then it kind of felt like we were 4 wide because the guy to the right of me just kept coming left and didn't stop. So I'm hoping that's the case. And then I prayed to God the rest of the way. I'm really disappointed. I got my first pen in realistic, and it's been so long since I've got a penalty, and I was actually really upset about that. I didn't practice at all because I didn't have time because I've been working overtime because we got this inventory thing. Yeah, but you're a god, shush. When do you practice?
When I feel like it.
Okay, but yeah, still. It's very impressive to go 34 laps at Mexico of all tracks with no warnings, so
Yeah, that's pretty
congratulations.
Beat that. I'm gonna beat Zach. I'm an angry father.
Ooh.
Hey!
Got the belt.
Hey!
When were you my dad?
Alright, Zach, you got a question for
Second
me?
off, no. Congratulations, you're
No.
Yeah,
free.
look at you and your crusty knees.
Bro. Anyway, moving on to P1.
That's me.
Dixie should go. In the sister team, Just give us your thoughts right through that race. I completely blacked out. I have no memory of the race.
Blacked
now.
out from me and Gary being like 1-2 for most of the race.
No, I got that, but.
Well, it was good. Qualifying was terrible. It was like a second off my PB. Skeppy was like 8/10 off his. So.
Did you get pole?
No. I
got
only did a 15.5, bro. My PB's a 14.5.
I couldn't even do a 15.5.
Oh my God, my qualifying was terrible. I'm like, I was kind of annoyed, like P6, but I made a really good start.
Driver.
You're not wrong, but I'm here anyways. And then I don't know who it was, but I believe one of the Alpines got spun around by Ardell in turn 3. I think that was Ron was talking about, like turn 3, lap 1. And then that got me up to the podium, and then from then on I was just sticking with Skeppy and Ardell until that first safety car, and then I pitted for the mediums because I knew they'd go to the end. It's easy one stops off medium. I wouldn't say easy based on the tires at the end of the race, but still.
Say, what are you talking about?
72% by the end of the race with like a safety car and 3 VSCs.
You had 72?
Yeah, what did you have?
83? I don't know what I was doing wrong.
Dang. I don't know about that one, Chief. You need to go back to the drawing board for
I was
Ferrari.
gonna say, I need your setup. Hey, I just stole this setup off of Feta, so
I stole this setup off of like Ronhar, I think.
I
Yeah,
yoinked this and I was like, this is what I'm doing.
But
so Feta, if you're listening, your setup's not good on tires.
yeah, that is set up for you. But yeah, after that, after the safety car on the mediums came out ahead of Gary, and then it was just sticking with Gary as long as possible. I thought the first time he'd get past me, he'd pull away, but then I realized the pace was so close between the top 5. And then I was thinking about just sticking behind him, but I also kind of wanted Ron to get past because I do have a soft spot for Ron, but he didn't. And then I was just gonna try and pass Gary every other few laps if I was close enough, because I also wanted to try and put him under pressure from the drivers behind. And then on lap 29, I went around his outside and he spun, of course. So a shame, but I'll definitely take the win. It's still sinking in. It's my first win since I joined Tier 3 back in Hungary. So
You're actually in quicksand.
yeah. I have to stop moving. I'm getting too excited and then die in this quicksand in the Sahara Desert, but it's fine. So I'm just happy to have another win. I was gonna be very upset if I didn't get another one this season. Sorry for the long-winded fucking essay.
It's your job.
You're right.
Whoa.
More
Hurry up and start
next one.
talking, guys.
Wow.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm too used to ACC where I can swear freely.
Yeah, bro.
I
Anyway,
already
I
made
think
the
that'll
mistake.
wrap up.
Oh, I
Hey!
got questions.
Hey!
I got questions.
Oh, Ron has questions. Ooh.
The DXT. For first question is, how does it feel like I know you kind of mentioned this, but how does it feel to finally not bottle it, unlike what Skeppy decided to do? Because, yeah,
It feels good. I've bottled every race since Hungary. I bottled.
you almost
Spa.
bottled this one technically.
Yeah, I almost bottled this one too. But I made it work. I was analyzing the race as it went on. I'm like, okay, I had this penalty. Gary and Ron don't have penalties. I know I can gap Ron, so it's not a problem. And then also shout out
My
to Solar.
tires
Yeah, your
weren't
tires
stupid.
were bad. And yeah, big shout out to Solar. After Gary made his mistake, I did a little bit of weaving on the straight with Solar to like let him know, hey, let's just focus on getting further ahead from Ron, and it worked. We had a bit of confusion when he tried to pass me, but then we both backed out.
Maybe it was the lack of communication.
I mean, it was pretty communication. I mean, after that, there were no hiccups, so it was just swapping.
I got a statement and then one more question. For a statement for you is, so I started this race with half a can of extra fuel, and I don't know what's going on lately, but I ended it with 4 laps of fuel, and I don't
What
know
is
what
wrong
I'm doing
with you?
wrong.
There's
This
safety cars.
This happens. No,
Safety cars?
Do you think I got
No,
3.5
it
laps
doesn't
off of a
This
safety
happens to
car?
Ron every race. Singapore, he had 8 laps. Japan, he had.
No,
how many
Singapore, I
laps?
had 16 laps.
16 laps. How
Japan
much did
was
you have in
8
Japan?
laps.
Japan was 8
Bro.
laps. The Ferrari is so good at fuel consumption just for
Did
Ron.
they got like
he
a,
loses
you
any
know
chance
those,
of getting a win.
shit, you know those planes that refuel other planes?
Yeah.
Ferrari bought one of those, got that thing circling the track. And my final question before Zach forces me to stop talking. Do you want to go on a date?
Oh my
no.
God.
Sorry.
Hey Chico, I have one question.
Okay.
What
You
was your
can't
tire
actually
wear?
go on a date.
You already
it
said
was
that.
72%.
So you weren't
Oh,
listening.
damn.
You're
What
a
a
bad
dub. You're
talker.
What a dub. You took care of your tires. Congratulations.
I
They
took
Ron,
care
learn
of
how to
my
tire
tires. I took care of them.
Why'd you have 10% more then?
How did you
Ask
have,
God,
what were your
I don't
wings?
know.
What wings were you running?
How many? I was running 910.
I was running 7.9.
Okay.
I doubt that matters. It was probably the tire pressures. Or
How'd
just
you have-
Ferrari.
Could you have better tire wear on lower wings than someone? That shows
I
that
don't know.
you're just better.
I'm telling you, I took care of those things, but no matter what I was doing, and you saw I slowed down. I was still losing 5% a lap, no matter what I did.
Oh, golly.
Half throttle in most
I
of the
think
time.
it's about
Shut
time
up.
we
I
wrap
don't
up
think it's
this
about
tier
time.
three. You know
This is
what?
our booth now.
No what?
It's us. We're
You
the
know
ones
what?
saying goodbye,
Our
everyone.
booth.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
Good night.
Hey, I'm not
Turn
ending
it
it
off.
yet.
Turn it off. Bye.